Welcome back to complete our discussion talking about weight loss. Joining me again is Lauren Bradley with Tulsa Health Department, registered and licensed dietitian and health educator. Let's jump in. Now, I want to come back to looking at our foods, but also again adding exercise, because we talked about that. How can exercise, if we're cutting out the sodas and the high caloric drinks and we're looking at some of the foods with high calories and things like that, how can the exercise sort of help us even if we do overeat or if we're still trying to lose or maintain?
Well, when we looked at our energy chart and we said, you know, to lose that 1 pound a week, I would need for 7 days to cut 500 calories. Well, let's say you can't cut 500 calories a day. I need to hang on to my food and I'm not ready to let go of my food. Well, if I were to exercise those 500 calories, instead of consuming less and exercise that 500 calories above what I'm consuming, then we're still going to get that 3,500 calories, but we can exercise them off. Or you can cut 250 calories out of your diet each day and exercise for 250 calories. So that's, again, another way to get our 500 calories a day, but you don't have to completely cut off all your food that are your favorites, or completely go above and beyond with the exercise, because a lot of people have to start slow with the exercise. You know, they can't just jump in and walk for 3 hours and burn 500 calories.
Okay, and so you can really sort of, as you're making your realistic plan,
put
in foods, exercise, and all those combinations to help you get to the goal that you're trying to reach.
Yeah, and weight loss, you can lose weight by just changing your diet. But that's not going to be long-term weight loss. That's, again, we need to include exercise if we want to lose weight and keep it off.
And I like what you said, to look at it as a lifestyle change. So this is going to be something for life that you're going to do,
not just for my class reunion.
For an occasion. Right. Now let me ask one other question, then we're going to talk about some exercises that can help us do that, because you don't have to run a marathon to be able to get this done. Looking at, we talked about beverages such as the soda pop and things such as that. What about things like the alcoholic beverages? Because sometimes we don't factor those in necessarily. But what about those and the caloric intake in relation to what we're trying to do?
Well, again, you know how we talked about we need to consciously be aware of what we're eating. I think a lot of people, once they start consuming alcoholic beverages, unconsciously keep drinking and forget how much that adds up. When you talk about beer and wine versus liquor, all of those have different caloric values. So you do have to be conscious of it. And with a lot of your mixed drinks, not only do they have the alcohol, but they have some sort of sweetener or juice or something else that goes in it to make the mix. So sometimes those are your highest caloric drinks when people think, oh, but there's hardly anything in it.
Right. Now, what about, too, I want to ask you this other, just popped in my mind, because people do that with alcohol or not, like dried fruits and things. You might buy fruits that have been bathed in different kind of alcoholic things, or not, but just are dried fruits. Are dried fruits in general more calorically bound than the natural fruit would be?
They are going to be more calorically dense, and so you don't need as much. So whereas you could eat a whole apple that would be about the size of your fist, one serving usually of dried fruit is like 1/4 of a cup. So you aren't going to need as much because it is compact and a lot of times has a lot of extra sugar or flavorings with it. So you're right, it is going to be, because it is reduced, you aren't going to need as much, and it's not going to be as much for a serving. And you've got to watch out for all the other, because they have the trail mix with the dried fruit, which usually means it has sugar and cornstarch and high fructose corn syrup and all that stuff on it too.
Okay, and tell our viewers again, those that may have missed a previous show, about high fructose corn syrup. Where it falls in the ingredients of what we need to be aware of. Yeah,
it's going to be, if it has high fructose corn syrup, that basically means go ahead and add a couple pounds of fat on me, because it's not good for you at all. It has no caloric benefit. It's a sugar that they use to help preserve things, and again, there's no benefit to you. You can find it on the food label, and when you're looking at juices or applesauce or any sort of food, if you see on the ingredient list it's one of the first 2 or 3 ingredients, that means that's the majority of what's in that food you're eating. Those first couple of ingredients are going to be in the largest portion size of your food. So yeah, definitely watch out for that.
Stay away from those. One other quick thing, we're going to show some exercises here. Peanuts, because many of us snack on peanuts. Peanuts, almonds, cashews. Tell us about those in general, because peanuts are healthy, right?
Yeah. Well, they are a good fat. We do have, you know, what people typically think are our bad fats, our cookies, cakes, whatever. And we do have our good fats, which are going to be in our nuts. Those are going to help lower our cholesterol in our body and can really work for us, but we have to watch our portion size. Because nuts have fat in them, you are going to have to need only about 1/4 of a cup, which, you know, it's not very much, and that's going to be a serving.
Okay.
So, and our almonds have some calcium in them too, so that's another great source of calcium. But again, they have the fats. They are good for you. We do need to eat them, but in small quantities and not highly salted or sugared or whatever else you can do to them.
Okay. Now, some exercises. What can we do if we are not ready necessarily to get out there on the treadmill or to really jog or do all those other things? What are some chair exercises that we might do?
Well, and all you need, especially if you are at a desk or at home just sitting on the couch, is mainly either a water bottle or some 3 to 5 pound weights.
Okay.
And then just use your body weight is the easiest thing you can do. So something we can do with our arms is if you just want to grab a water bottle, you know, we can fill up our water bottle if we get thirsty and it gets heavy, you know, we're drinking and it makes it a little lighter. Okay, so we can just raise the water bottle out in front of us and we can lift it up all the way up over our heads. And then we can dip it back and then lift it up. And that's going to work our triceps in the back. Okay. So we've got our triceps. And then just the raising it down and up is going to work our shoulder muscles. So that's nice for our shoulders. And then something else we can do with our abdominals. You know, we all want nice abs,
need those abs. Yes.
Right? We can do just some twists.
Oh, that helps the back,
yeah,
Lauren.
Feels good.
Oh.
And then you can raise it up over your head.
I'm feeling
this
feeling
good.
This is feeling really good.
Especially if you add a 5 pound weight that's a little heavier. And then we can raise it above our head and we can do some side. And when you have the weights, it makes it a little heavier. Yeah. And so that works those, you know, those outer love handles that we all like to get rid of.
Yeah, they just come automatically.
Yeah. So again, and then when you get thirsty, you've got something to drink. So a water bottle is easy to start with.
It is, and they're about 1 pound.
Yeah.
So it's not too terribly heavy.
And you could still do, bicep curls with these, you know, get two going on.
Okay.
Or you can, you know, lift them out to the sides.
Okay. Well, who would have thunk it, as they say.
Yeah. So that's something easy that you can do. And then as far as legs, you can do, you know, just leg raises where you just, you know, lifting your feet out, working these muscles. And then there's the ever popular squat.
Okay.
Where you basically just are going to lift up and squat down just to about chair level where you'd be sitting. So do that a couple times. You'd be good to go.
How about that? And that's something that you can take a break from at your desk at work.
Oh, yeah.
Or when you're at home on the computer.
During commercial breaks.
During commercial breaks. Or for the kids, if they're in front of those computer games and you're trying to get them to do more activity, you can just go in and sit with them and just start doing some things such as that. And we all need water instead of that soda.
Perfect.
So how perfect can you get? Thank you so much for joining me. I feel better already. Thanks, Lauren.
No problem.
Well, that's our show. For Health Alert, I'm Pam Butler. I'd love to hear your comments, questions, or suggestions for future shows. Please write me at Health Alert USA, P.O. Box 50913, Tulsa, Oklahoma 74150. Or if you're on the email trail, please email me at healthalertusa@gmail.com. And also, don't forget to visit me on YouTube at youtube.com/Health Alert USA. Take care and do these exercises, and I'm excited and geared up and ready to go, so hopefully you are too. Take care. Excellent. That's I hadn't thought about that truly, though.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, I'm really busy. This program would not be possible without the support of OU Physicians in Tulsa.